Microsoft and Xbox absolutely knocked it out of the park with their most recent showcase. The showcase was packed with surprising reveals and major updates to some of the biggest games coming out in the next year or so. Let's check out the biggest announcements from this year's Xbox showcase. Doom: The Dark Ages announcement. After leaking through a court document as Doom Year Zero, id Software has finally announced Doom: The Dark Ages. Launching in 2025, it's coming to Game Pass on day one. As rumored, the title appears to be a prequel, set in a medieval-style world. Demons run amok, which means the protagonist needs to get to some ripping and tearing. While the classic double-barreled shotgun remains, some new weapons have been added, including a shield that can parry attacks. It also acts as a buzzsaw to rev up and throw at enemies. There's also a flak cannon that grinds skulls, spitting their fragments at enemies, and a flail to smack enemies with. If that wasn't enough, you can also pilot a giant mech and punch massive demons. Some demons can also function as mounts to traverse the world and spit fire into an enemy's mouth. Dragon Age The Veilguard unveiled. BioWare and EA recently announced that they had renamed the next Dragon Age game to Dragon Age The Veilguard, and as leaks had previously claimed, the long-anticipated next installment in the fantasy RPG series was unveiled at the recent Xbox Game Showcase. A new trailer focuses primarily on the titular Veilguard, which is the group of heroes that will form the backbone of the game's story. Each of the main companion characters are shown, with each coming from different backgrounds and races and having unique strengths, while Varric returns as well to no one's surprise. No gameplay is showcased in the reveal trailer, but that will be coming soon, with BioWare set to showcase over 15 minutes of gameplay footage on June 11th. Starfield: Shattered Space receives first gameplay trailer. Following its biggest update to Starfield, Bethesda Game Studios has debuted the first gameplay trailer for its expansion, Shattered Space. The expansion features new quests, unique weapons, spacesuits, and gear. We also see new creatures popping up on space stations and capable of camouflaging themselves. Starfield: Shattered Space will be available for Xbox Series and PC at launch, with Premium Edition owners getting it for free. State of Decay 3's new trailer. In the 4 years since it was announced, State of Decay 3 has received next to no updates from Microsoft or developer Undead Labs, making it one of the several first-party Xbox games to fall in that group, but as leaks had recently claimed, we finally got another look at the game at the recent Xbox Game Showcase. Notably enough, the trailer is entirely in engine and showcases an impressive visual leap for the game, especially compared to its decidedly lower-budget predecessors. Sadly, the trailer still doesn't showcase any actual gameplay, instead being presented as a cinematic, narrative-driven showing of the game, so those who were hoping to get a better idea of what gameplay improvements it'll bring are going to have to wait longer for that information. Meanwhile, a release date also still hasn't been announced for State of Decay 3, with Microsoft simply reiterating that it remains in development for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Game Pass. South of Midnight gameplay. Compulsion Games' South of Midnight received its first gameplay trailer during the Xbox Game Showcase 2024. Set about a third of the way into the story, it sees protagonist Hazel and her companion Catfish venturing through the swamp. With a Category 5 hurricane affecting her home, Hazel is searching for her mother. Bestowed with the powers of the weaving, she ventures through the location battling monsters. Combat is hack-and-slash focused, with Hazel using her powers to help cleanse the corruption of some areas. Eventually, she runs into Two-Toed Tom, an albino alligator, and lures it. Her weaving powers also allow her to traverse the environment, double jumping and gliding. Overall, the mechanics look solid, though a release date is still unknown, outside of the rumored 2025 launch. South of Midnight is coming to Xbox Series and PC. It's also launching on day one for Game Pass. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater new gameplay trailer. Konami recently shared long overdue information on its Silent Hill 2 remake, and at the recent Xbox Game Showcase, the company followed up with another look at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, another upcoming remake of a beloved Konami classic. We have, of course, had a couple of trailers for the game in the past, though with this one the focus is squarely on showcasing the gameplay footage, showcasing stealth, combat, and some interesting gameplay improvements over the original here and there. Plenty of familiar locations from the original game's jungle setting are also showcased, while we also get glimpses of the game's iconic opening, as well as a number of familiar characters, including the boss herself. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is in development for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Konami hasn't yet announced a release date, but recent reports have claimed that the game may have been internally delayed into 2025. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred update. At the recent Xbox Games Showcase, Microsoft offered a new look at a number of upcoming games, which also included expansions for titles that have already been released. This includes Diablo 4's upcoming first expansion in Vessel of Hatred, which grabbed the spotlight with the premiere of its opening cinematic. It's certainly a dramatic and gruesome opening, setting up the expansion's events with a suitably dark aesthetic, and of course, as is always the case with Blizzard Entertainment, it's also a spectacularly directed cinematic cutscene with all of the flash and production values that you would expect from the developer. On top of that, Blizzard Entertainment has also revealed the expansion's release date. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred will launch for Xbox Series, X and S, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, and PC on October 8th. Perfect Dark gameplay. Years after its initial announcement, the Initiative and Crystal Dynamics have finally showcased the first gameplay trailer for Perfect Dark. It sees longtime protagonist Joanna Dark venturing to the Garden City to find and take down Daniel Carrington, who previously served as her boss. Upon investigating a hideout, Carrington reaches out to Joanna and starts filtering shady information through her AR system. Paranoia and suspicion are nothing new in the Perfect Dark universe, and once again, Joanna will need to be careful who she trusts. Throughout her journey, she can utilize new gadgets like analyzing voices to create deepfakes, disguising herself as other NPCs, and more. Of course, Joanna is equally skilled in combat, utilizing both lethal and non-lethal combat, close quarters combat, and an array of weapons to take down enemies. Players can mix and match these approaches, even utilizing the environment to complete their objectives. There are risks and rewards to both. Perfect Dark is coming to Xbox Series and PC. Fable launching next year. Of the many upcoming first-party titles Microsoft has in the works across its entire massive portfolio, few have generated the kind of excitement and anticipation that Playground Games' reboot of Fable has. And as many had hoped, at the recent Xbox Games Showcase we got another look at the game with a new trailer. If you're hoping for an admittedly long overdue gameplay showing, there isn't much of that to latch onto in Fable's newest trailer, but it does offer an extensive in-engine look at the game, showing glimpses of various locations, combat, and several key characters that will be pivotal to the story. Additionally, Microsoft has also confirmed a release window for Fable at long last. The game will launch for Xbox Series and PC at some point in 2025. As recent leaks have claimed, and as is the case with all first-party Xbox games, this will also be available on Game Pass. Life is Strange Double Exposure announced. It's been 3 years since the Life is Strange franchise's last outing, Life is Strange True Colors, and if you were wondering how long it'll be before we get another one, well, your questions have been answered. At the recent Xbox Games Showcase, developer Deck9 announced the franchise's next installment, titled Life is Strange Double Exposure. Interestingly enough, Double Exposure will once again put players in the shoes of Max Caulfield, who, of course, was the protagonist of the series' very first game. Max's time manipulation powers will obviously return as well, with a supernatural mystery supposedly serving as the game's backbone. Here's the hook though. As Max, players will be solving the mystery in not one but 2 different timelines, which should present some interesting narrative and choice-based opportunities. Life is Strange Double Exposure launches on October 29th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. The game is also in development for Nintendo Switch, but doesn't have a release date on the platform. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle cinematic showcases new gameplay. Machine Games' Indiana Jones and the Great Circle received a new trailer during the Xbox Games Showcase. Though it doesn't have a release date, the action-adventure is out later this year for Xbox Series, PC, and Game Pass. In the meantime, we got a new cinematic with Indiana Jones and Gina venturing into the Himalayas. While discovering a stone paramount to solving the mystery of the Great Circle, the duo meet hostile forces that sought the same. Cue the classic indie banter, but before he can be tossed unceremoniously to his death, Gina intervenes, using a hand grenade to buy some time. Brief gameplay snippets showcase hand-to-hand combat and exploration alongside the classic giant boulder. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl new gameplay trailer. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl's latest release date of September 5th was reiterated during the Xbox Game Showcase. It's coming to Xbox Series and PC alongside Game Pass at launch. Outside of the visuals, which continue to look stunning, all of the tenets of the Stalker experience are here. As players explore the ruins of the zone, they'll run into mutants, from dogs to large hulking creatures. They can take a non-linear approach to completing objectives, venture through the streets and fight up close with assault rifles, or find a vantage point and snipe enemies. Use silencers for a more covert approach, and keep a rocket launcher handy when required. The zone won't remain complacent though. Different anomalies pop up, each with unique effects, and you'll have to deal with hurricanes, rain, and other hazards. Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay trailer. Assassin's Creed Shadows has received a brief new gameplay trailer at the Xbox Game Showcase. It starts with in-engine footage of the environments and some cinematics before quickly highlighting each protagonist and their fighting styles. As a shinobi, Naoi favors stealth, utilizing parkour to traverse environments and the hidden blade to assassinate foes. She also wields a Kusorigama for more upfront combat, which slices through bamboo shoots naturally as it arcs through the air. Yasuke is a frontline fighter, effortlessly breaking through doors, kicking enemies into walls, disrupting their guards, and brutally executing them. He can even headbutt foes to stun them. Assassin's Creed Shadows launches on November 15th for Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. Gears of War E-Day. Leaks had strongly insisted in recent weeks that the next Gears of War game would be announced at the Xbox Game Showcase, and as expected, we did indeed get our first look at the series' next mainline installment, though it isn't taking the form that many would have expected. Rather than a new numbered entry, Microsoft and the Coalition have announced Gears of War E-Day, a prequel that is set 14 years before the events of the original Gears of War, during Emergence Day. Interestingly, it once again brings back Marcus Phoenix as the central protagonist, with Dom Santiago also returning. The game, which is described as the next mainline installment in the Gears series, will see Marcus and Dom taking on the Locust Horde. Its reveal trailer, which you can view below, also features a new rendition of Mad World, a song that series fans will likely be familiar with. New hardware variants. Xbox President Sarah Bond said earlier this year that Microsoft would be releasing new Xbox hardware this holiday season, and as expected, at its recent Xbox Game Showcase, the company revealed details on exactly what that will entail. This holiday, Microsoft will release 3 new Xbox Series X and S console variants. One will be the all-digital Xbox Series X that's been rumored for a while now. The console will come without a disk drive, feature 1 terabyte of storage, and will be white in color. It'll cost $449.99. It'll be accompanied by a new version of the Xbox Series S 1 terabyte model, this one coming in robot white color, priced at $349.99. In addition to those two, Microsoft will also release a special edition Xbox Series X model boasting 2 terabytes of storage, as leaks had suggested, and the special edition Galaxy Black color for both the console and the controller that will come with it, and that will be priced at $599.99. A specific release date for the new models is currently unknown, but Microsoft says pre-orders will be opening soon. Fallout 76 Skyline Valley Update. Bethesda and Microsoft have announced that the next major update for Fallout 76, titled Skyline Valley, will be coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series on June 12th. As part of the Skyline Valley update, Fallout 76 will be getting an expansion to its world map. Players will also be able to travel across the Savage Divide to the southern Appalachian areas. The explorable area in Skyline Valley is based on the woodlands in the real-world Shenandoah National Park. Throughout their time in the Skyline Valley, players will be able to uncover the mysteries of Vault 63 as they hunt down its location. Players will also encounter electric ghouls, called the Lost. There will also be a new public event, Dangerous Pastimes, where players will be able to chase down storms, as well as new region bosses. Along with the release of the Skyline Valley update, Fallout 76 will also be getting a new Lost Treasures bundle that features the Vault 63 power armor paint and jetpack, along with a new V63 chassis display frame and a Vault 63 door display that players can put down in their camp. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn release date. Developer A44 Games have released a new trailer for Souls-like action RPG Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Along with the trailer, the studio also announced that the game will be coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series on July 18th. The new release date for Flintlock The Siege of Dawn comes after a series of delays, with the game originally being slated for release back in 2022. After first being pushed back to an early 2023 release window, the game was eventually pushed back to summer 2024. Players will have access to a variety of weapons, being able to freely switch between 3 distinct types of weapons at all times. Throughout their progress, players will be able to set up caravans, which serve as the rest stops where players can take a break from the game's brutal enemies. World of Warcraft: The War Within going live in August. Blizzard has announced that the next major expansion for World of Warcraft: The War Within will be out on August 26th. Players who grab the Epic Edition of World of Warcraft: The War Within will be able to get access to the expansion content on August 22nd. The release date for The War Within was announced with a cinematic trailer. World of Warcraft: The War Within is isolated to be the start of a trilogy of expansions that will tell the story of the World Soul Saga. While the expansion itself launches on August 26th, the first season of content will start on September 10th, with players having to face Nerubian forces in Az-Kahet in the expansion's first raid. The expansion is currently running its beta, the access for which is available through the War Within's Epic Edition. The edition will also give players access to the Algarian Stormrider mount and the Stormrider's attire transmog set. The story in World of Warcraft: The War Within will pick up after the events of Dragonflight, and players will be able to level up to the new level cap of 80. Atomfall. Developer Rebellion has unveiled its new game, a survival action game titled Atomfall. The game will be coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series in 2025. Atomfall takes place on a post-apocalyptic world, and players will have to partake in the traditional forms of survival gameplay, including crafting, bartering, exploring, and salvaging. The game will be a single-player title and takes place in the British countryside. Chang: Fallen Feathers new trailer. Developer Lindsay Games have released a new trailer for Souls-like action RPG Chang: Fallen Feathers. While the game was originally announced all the way back in September of 2021, the latest trailer gives us more of a look at the title's story and gameplay. Chang: Fallen Feathers seems quite inspired by Chinese mythology. The game puts players in the late Ming Dynasty in the shoes of pirate warrior Wu Chang. The protagonist is afflicted by ornithopy, a disease that also gives the character access to immense power. Players will expand their arsenal as they explore the depths of Shu, and along the way also get stronger by taking on various enemies and harvest new skills of them. As players make their way through the game, they'll slowly start piecing together the lost memories of Wu Chang, and the choices that they make will lead to one of several endings. Chang: Fallen Feathers is slated for release in 2025 and will be coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Winter Burrow. While the Xbox Game Showcase was replete with blockbuster announcements like Gears of War E-Day and Doom: The Dark Ages, it also had some intriguing indie titles. Pine Creek Games' Winter Burrow is one, dubbed a cozy woodland survival game. After returning from the big city, a woodland mouse is shocked to see the state of their home. Not only is it in shambles, but their aunt also has gone missing. The goal is to restore the childhood abode, collecting resources, crafting tools, and more. There's also plenty of knitting and baking to do, alongside characters to meet. Of course, plenty of threats await, including insects. The survival handbook is available for guidance, but players can take their time to prep. Along with character customization, players can also decorate their homes. Given the comfy vibes, here's hoping the protagonist's aunt is alive and well. Stay tuned for more details on Winter Burrow in the coming months. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.